Hi everyone, today I am going to prove that I am influenced too. It is not just all of you from watching YouTube that gets enticed to go out and buy new products. No, it happens to me as well. We're going to get straight on with it. I am going to introduce you to a lot of the products that I have been influenced to buy from listening to other people's thoughts and opinions. If you're new here, hi, my name's Gemma. I upload new content on YouTube every single week and I would absolutely love it if by the end of this video you found it helpful, you click on that subscribe button, the like button, and also the notification bell. Why did I just do this with my hands on clicking the like button and the subscribe button? Come hither, come join the crew. I have no idea. Oh dear, it started already. By the way, do you like the outfit today? I feel like I should be on some sort of cartoon cops and robbers show with a swag bag and a mask. First up is RISA from RISA Does Makeup. I love her channel. I just think she is absolutely amazing. She is an inspiration. She knows her stuff, been a makeup artist for such a long time, and really can get the best out of products. They all look amazing on her. So I watch her channel quite a lot. Now, we are an unlikely pairing. We are polar opposites, completely different skin types, and we live in completely different climates. So RISA lives in Las Vegas, very, very dry. I live in the UK, a little bit damp, if I'm being completely honest. Grey, overcast, very shaded. So we shouldn't like the same things. I have dry skin, RISA does not, but it's amazing the amount of products that she uses on her channel that I also love. So the one that I want to mention today is the e.l.f. Camo Powder Foundation. I don't generally get on with a lot of powder foundations. I have many of them in my drawer and don't tend to reach for them unless I'm in a rush. Now, RISA did say in her review that she wasn't sure how these were going to wear on a dry skin, and I obviously have dry skin, but I thought this is super affordable. If it doesn't work, it's not a massive deal. So I bought it and then it sat over on the counter over there for a good month or so before I actually tried it. And I'm really surprised by this, not only because I have dry skin and RISA wasn't sure if this would work for me, but also because I've tried the e.l.f. Camo CC cream and really didn't like it. What I like about this, and I've gone for the shade Light 210N, is that it is quite a powdery formula. You can get a lot on your brush, but it melts into my skin. I'm not quite sure if that's because I wear a lot of skincare, whether if you put this on a dry skin completely, whether this would melt into the skin, I'm not quite sure, but I really like the way that it looks. My other friend, Stephanie Marie, really did not like this. So I think this is going to be one of those foundations that is either a love it or a hate it. This will give a medium coverage and you can build this up to a full coverage if that's what you require. Usually when I reach for a powder foundation, I'm just after a go out the door as quickly as possible look, never anything with masses of coverage. This is great for me. I use a fluffy brush to get it on as quickly as possible. It doesn't settle in my pores, it melts into my skin, it just gives me more of an airbrush finish. The shade Light 210N is slightly too deep for my natural skin tone, and I mean only slightly. I can definitely get away with this as long as I take it down my neck. The shade Fairer Than This was way too light and made me look quite ghostly. So if you are my shade twin, the shade Light 210N is probably the one that I would point you towards. This will give you a semi-matte finish. Nothing overly matte, nothing drastic. It's not going to be flat. You will still get a bit of life through the foundation. If you find this is slightly too powdery on you, which it wasn't on me, a quick blast of setting spray, that should melt the product into the skin. It will get shinier throughout the day. So if you are one of those people who likes their foundation to remain the same throughout the day, this one probably isn't for you. And be very, very wary how much you apply, because if you over apply, especially around those problematic areas, around the nose, around the mouth, especially if you have some lines or wrinkles around your mouth area, around the eyes, again, if you have lines or wrinkles, and if you're a glasses wearer like me, around the bridge of the nose, you will know about it. It will congeal, it will look a little cakey, cakey, so you do have to be careful, but it does have its place. I will use this again. It's great for when you're in a bit of a fix, in a bit of a rush. I will use it again. No, it's not my favorite, like I've said, but definitely has its place. Moving on to our Ange from Hot and Flashy. I love Angie. She reminds me of my mum quite a lot, even though she's in between mine and my mum's age. She does remind me of her in the way that she is. She's just classy and fabulous. And without her, I probably wouldn't have bought this next item. And it's my ultimate favorite concealer. This is the LANCOME All Over Concealer. And ever since I bought this, it hasn't been knocked off my #1 spot at all. I mean, we'll see, because I have recently bought the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Concealer, which is so close to this one. Really, really nice consistency, blends out nicely, but I think I still prefer this one, even though it's slightly less coverage than the Faux Filter. This has a movability to it. It stretches, so if you have those fine lines and wrinkles around the eye area, this is the one that I would point you to. I'm quite expressive. Everything shows in my face. You cannot hide anything with me. If I'm cross, if I'm sad, if I'm excited, it all shows in my face. So yeah, I can't hide a thing, but that has its issues, because when you are overly expressive, that eye area moves a lot, and this can cope with that level of movement. I love it. This is really long wearing and it blends beautifully into bare skin. So if you don't wear a lot of makeup and you're worried about your concealer being really noticeable, I would definitely give this one a shot. If you apply the smallest amount, this blends in beautifully and is practically invisible on the skin. It's also got a very nice natural sheen, so it's not matte, and a really nice thickness to it. The consistency of this is really quite fluid. So again, it doesn't go crusty, it doesn't go cakey, and yeah, I just really, really like it. Such a great product, and I'm waiting for something better to come along. I really hope it does, because that product will just be magic. Moving on to ALLIE GLINES. Who doesn't like ALLIE GLINES? She is such a lovely personality, just really genuine, adorable character. I really, really like her channel. I enjoy her videos. As soon as I saw the video where she reviewed this product, I thought I have to get that in my life because it looked stunning on her. I am talking about the Anastasia Beverly Hills Nouveau Palette. Just look. So nice, and there's a hair attached to this. Just get rid of that. There we go. Look at the beautiful shades. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the lilac. Gotta say, I don't think it has any place in this palette. Correct me if you think I'm wrong, but yeah, I just wish that was a different shade. That's not going anywhere near me, but the rest of them, so beautiful. I have this on my eyes today. It's slightly more dramatic than I would usually go for, so you may have switched this video on and had a bit of a shock, but I really like it. I'm wearing Peacock today, a little bit of Wings and a little bit of Muse, possibly a little bit of Flirt as well. I can't actually remember, but I just wanted to open the palette to see where it would take me, and I was not disappointed. I will show you the swatches. There are 6 mattes and there are 6 metallics, which are soft and creamy and buttery and extremely pigmented. The mattes are also beautiful, very blendable, pressed pigments. You're not actually supposed to use Wisteria, Metro and Paloma really close to the eye, which baffles me a little bit, why they would make an eyeshadow palette that you can't use to its full potential, but it is what it is. I learned that from ALLIE. I would not have checked the back of the pack. It is written on the packaging and it's also on their website, but I wouldn't have checked it. She's so thorough. Thank you, ALLIE. I wouldn't have known. I'd have probably ended up with some sort of eye infection or irritation if I'd have been left to my own devices. This is so lovely and I am really pleased that I bought it. She's also made me buy lots of other things as well, but this is the main one that I love. If you are wanting to get your hands on this, if you haven't already, definitely check out the discount codes in the description box, because depending on when you're watching this, I believe you may be able to get 20% off this at the moment at Look Fantastic. Don't quote me on that. I may be wrong. I have a feeling. So definitely check out those discount codes. Let's talk about Michelle Wang. How amazing is Michelle? If I ever want to buy a luxury item, I always check out Michelle's channel first to see what she thinks about it and see swatches, because she tends to buy a lot of stuff and she tends to be first to the punch as well. So usually when a product first releases, Michelle brings out a review, which I find incredibly helpful, especially for a person in the UK watching YouTube, because we tend to get things afterwards anyway, so we can do a lot more research before it's released in the UK. Slightly aggravating, but it is what it is. Michelle made me buy the Victoria Beckham Lid Lustre in the new shade, which is Starlight. Look at this. How stunning is this? This is incredibly creamy and soft and packs a punch on the eyelid if you apply it with your fingertip. If you want to apply it with a brush, it can be applied with a brush, but it will go on slightly more subtly. I like it both ways. Just so nice. Really beautiful in both consistency and charm. Oh, lovely. These are pricey, however, but I just couldn't resist. Do I have something similar in my collection? Probably. But, you know, that's the joy of makeup, isn't it? You want what you want. Couldn't help myself. Let's just talk about Charlotte Holdcroft for a split second. Maybe for a little bit longer than that, actually. I could do a full video on all of the products that Charlotte Holdcroft has made me buy. I say made me buy, I've done all this of my own free will. I've thought it through. She didn't hold me to ransom or anything, but there's just something about the way that she reviews products. It's so real, it's so honest, which is what I love. My most recent purchase is from RMS Beauty. This is the Redimension Hydra Powder Blush in the shade Mai Tai. This is actually the shade that Charlotte tried first of all on her channel. She's since been and bought other shades as well to add to the collection because she loves these so much. I really like this. I will show you how I apply this in the next video. So beautiful. It's hard pressed. It just adds that lovely radiance to the cheek. If you don't like a hint of shimmer, you may not like this, but I just think it's lovely. I have this on today. It's lovely. It's subtle. It's just really easy to apply. You can't overdo this. I mean, you probably could, but it's very difficult to over apply this blush because it's so hard pressed in the pan. There's a little bit of a funny story that goes along with this. So I was so eager to buy this as soon as I'd seen Charlotte's review. I went straight onto the Feel Unique website, ordered Mai Tai, just was so smug with myself, felt like I'd achieved something that day because I knew I was gonna love something when it arrived, and just really happy. It arrived, I opened the box and I went, what is this? Turns out I'd ordered the refill, not the actual full-on product with the packaging on the outside, which is no good for me. Really would have been no good. So I ended up sending that one back and ordering this one, which was a bit of a wait, but all is good in the end, and the wait was worthwhile. Other products Charlotte has enticed me to buy. Practically everything Pat McGrath I have in my collection is because I've seen it on Charlotte's channel first. And also this little beauty. Now this is the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate Soft Radiance Foundation. It does have an SPF of 50 in here. You know how I feel about SPFs in foundation. But it looks stunning on Charlotte's skin. This is beautiful. I wanted to give it a go. The only problem I have with this is in the shade 05 Porcelain, which I thought was going to be my shade. Actually, this is too fair for me, so I have to mix it slightly with something else, or mix it with a contour shade that I apply first. Again, I will show you that in the next video, but it is stunning on my skin. It's not sparkly. There is enough radiance to it. it. It packs a punch with the coverage. You can definitely get medium to full coverage with this. You need very little. A little goes a long way. Very, very flattering on my skin. Very skin-like, just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, which is a really good job because I think I would have cried having paid this much for a foundation to not like it. This also lasts an incredibly long amount of time on my skin. It doesn't settle in any fine lines, and for me, it's transfer resistant regardless of what skincare I wear underneath it, which is a major positive for me. I just really, really like it. Do I think this is worth everybody going out and buying? Absolutely not. This is an extortionate foundation. This is really, really expensive. Yes, I'm glad I bought it, but if you cannot stretch to this amount, you definitely shouldn't. Nobody should go into debt for makeup. It's just makeup. So I want to mention my friend Lindsay, because Lindsay is the first person that I ever borrowed a foundation from, which was way too dark for me. I look like a tangerine, but I borrowed it. I loved it. I loved the way it made me feel. I've told stories about Lindsay in my Q&As before, way back when, but Lindsay really, other than my mum, who I used to watch applying makeup in first thing in the morning, Lindsay is the one that really got me into makeup in the first place, and that feeling of empowerment that you get when you apply some products. So I met her for lunch the other day after about 6 years of not seeing her, and it was delightful. We just clicked where we left off, and her eyelashes looked immense. And you know what it's like when you're sat across from somebody and you cannot stop staring at a part of their body? That sounded wrong. Rewind. I couldn't stop looking at her eyelashes, and I had to ask what she had on them, and it was this from Gucci. This is the Gucci mascara. They only have one, so if you just go in and ask for the Gucci mascara, you will get the correct one. They are constantly out of stock for good reason, because this is lovely. Love the applicator. It really separates the lashes and coats every single individual one. It's small enough for those lower lashes and also for the upper lashes, so I don't get loads of product all over the skin around my eyes when I'm applying this, which again is a bonus. It just really is a beautiful black mascara. Not sure if this comes in brown. I will let you know in the description box whether this does come in brown, but I love it in black. This just separates everything, makes my lashes really long and fluttery and just, oh. I like to have a lot of volume to my lashes. If you don't, one coat of this will suffice. 2 coats is just the right amount of volume for me. It's definitely buildable, but I just love the way that it looks, and it's pricey, but for me, it's worth it. Again, you have to be your own judge on whether it's worth it for you. A similar one would probably be the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Push-Up Lashes Mascara. This, I feel like, doesn't bleed and smudge as much as that mascara. So if you loved that and you found that it smudged all over the place on you, definitely try this one out. It's a similar price point. I just love it. Absolutely love it. I'm not saying this doesn't smudge at all. It's not waterproof. It's not transfer resistant, but the Charlotte Tilbury one smudges a lot. This one, very minimal for me. So I've just said this one doesn't smudge and then looked in the monitor and realised I've got smudgy mascara all over my upper lids. By the way, I did put a lot of skincare on this morning, so that's probably the reason why, and I haven't powdered this area in place, which I normally would do, but you know, just want to mention that, as I have said that this mascara does not smudge. Obviously that is wrong, but yeah, nowhere near as much as the Charlotte Tilbury mascara. That's better. We are now at my final bad influence, and she really is a bad influence on me. I have to be really, really careful what products I mention, because I'm talking Stephanie Marie here. We talk every single day pretty much. So we talk products all the time, and also life stuff and what's going on, and I have to be very careful what I mention, because some of the products she's told me about she may not have mentioned on her channel yet, and I don't want to ruin the surprise. One product that I know she's mentioned on her channel before because I've seen it. I've seen the Instagram reel, I've seen the TikTok, is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Matte Bronzer. This is featured in my drugstore Better Than High End video. If you haven't seen that already, I will link that up here. And also in my faves and fails of this month. And it's all because of Stephanie Marie's recommendation that I went out and bought this in the first place. I saw that it had been introduced into the UK and I never picked it up. It was only when I saw Stephanie's reel that I thought, I have to pick that up. Usually I buy anything that's affordable that's released in the UK immediately. For some reason I didn't buy this and it's all Stephanie's fault that I did. So glad that I did. So I have this in 2 different shades. Not going to go on about it massively. Where's the other one? Oh, it's here. Not going to go on about it massively because I've already mentioned it in 2 videos already. I have the shade Light and also Light Medium. The Light Medium has more pinky undertones, whereas the Light has much warmer undertones. So it's Light 250, 300 Light Medium. Both of them are beautiful. They are soft and silky smooth, very easy to apply, very pigmented, blend out effortlessly. If you're after a really affordable bronzer that's going to last a long time and also have longevity on the skin, have that airbrushing quality, this is the direction that I point you in. None of the other high-end ones that I have in my drawer next to me. This one. Wow. Pretty similar to Charlotte Holcroft. I could probably do a full video on my Stephanie Marie recommendations. She is such a bad influence on me. I've bought so many things. Chanel lipsticks, both the liquid dual end lipsticks and also the cream lipsticks as well. The Living Proof Dry Shampoo, both the original version and the newer version in the more silvery container. Love them both. Hair care products, lifestyle products, I mean, you name it, I've bought it because of Stephanie Marie's say-so. I'm just a sucker, aren't I? But I've loved most things. It's impossible to like everything that somebody recommends because we all have different experiences, again, different climates, different skin types, ways of application, but most have been spot on. And I'm hoping that I do the same for all of you. Do let me know in the comments section. That is the end of this video. I really hope you've enjoyed it and hope to see you all in the next one. Bye everyone.